All right, Sixer Nation, we have an update on Tyrese Maxey's future in Philadelphia. Also, one NBA analyst hating on Joel Embiid. I guess we're getting to that point in the offseason already. And one potential superstar on the move. Could it be, though, to Philadelphia? We will talk about all of that and more. But welcome on into Philly Take with RB. I'm RB, and I give you the news, coverage, and rumors every single day. So be sure to like the video if you enjoy the content and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the coverage. Also, one more thing before we jump in, I want to let you know that I have partnered with a company and we are giving away a free signed Bryce Harper baseball. So if we have any Phillies fans out there, check the pinned comments down below. I'm going to leave the steps there, very simple and easy. Check it out so you can enter and try to win a Bryce Harper signed baseball. But we must start with Donovan Mitchell. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Per Sam Amico, who used to write for CBS, Sports Illustrated, Fox Sports, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Heat, the Nets, the Pelicans, and lastly, the 76ers will attempt to acquire Donovan Mitchell if he does not extend with the Cavs. And this rumor update coming out earlier today. And I think it's pretty fair to say that Donovan Mitchell, that domino, could definitely affect a lot of the offseason. The reports are that the Cavs are going to do everything it takes to bring him back. Now, whether Mitchell wants to be back in Cleveland is a whole different story. They have a lot of choices to make this offseason, whether it comes to Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, even Jared Allen. What about Isaac Okoro, or maybe even Evan Mobley? They have a lot of decisions to make. I don't think that they handled their offseason properly last year when they got Max Strus and George Niang and just kind of overpaid for those role players and really didn't do anything else. But the whole idea was that Donovan Mitchell is their building block, is their franchise centerpiece. And I don't know if he wants to be back. I mean, they fired their coach, JB Bickerstaff, after going to the second round. And when it comes down to Cleveland, it's just like, man, does Mitchell want to be there? Does anybody want to be in Cleveland? So I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. But the Donovan Mitchell looming extension is pretty much most of what is being talked about right now. And if he does want to be in, say, Miami, or maybe come to Philly or go to LA, that's going to kind of transform everything else in this offseason. So it'll be interesting. Could the Sixers take a flyer on Donovan Mitchell? Let's look at the contract. So Donovan Mitchell this upcoming season will make $35.4 million. And then the year after, he has a $37 million player option. He's obviously going to want a max extension, probably upwards of $45-50 million a year, just like the rest of the group. And, you know, I think he's deserved that. I think he's earned it. And 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, you're getting him right in his prime. He's a superstar. Look at Mitchell's stats, career 25 points per game, had 26 this last year. You know, shoots 37%, 38% from three. Great facilitator. And obviously he has his issues on the defensive side of the ball, being a bit undersized. Would you be able to make it work with Tyrese Maxey? Yeah, I think you could. I think you'd have to get some high-level role players and some really good defenders around Maxey and Mitchell. But I will say Maxey has certainly taken a step forward defensively. Mitchell has taken a bit of a step forward, still not nearly the best, but in terms of team defense has gotten better. I think you would have to try to figure out how it works. If it comes down to this and the Sixers could get Donovan Mitchell, would I be frustrated about that? Not at all. He's a superstar in his prime. We saw some big-time games, big-time moments from Donovan Mitchell. I'm not entirely sure if he was happy in Cleveland. I know that fit this year with Darius Garland kind of got rocky. Hopefully, he would be able to work with Maxey, but I also think the benefit would be that Maxey can kind of shift back to that natural position, you know, of being a combo guard, play the one, play the two, and I think they could do some crafty things with Mitchell. I think that pick and roll with Joel Embiid would be pretty intense, but does Donovan Mitchell want to come to Philly? It's crazy how we're even talking about this when a lot of us fought against Mitchell for Ben Simmons to be Rookie of the Year, but Mitchell has obviously blossomed, and you know, I think he wants to be in a situation where it's going to benefit the next stage of his career. So financially, of course, the Sixers will be included in the discussion. They could certainly make it work. But in terms of a fit with Maxey in the backcourt, is it enough? I think that's a pretty big question. And like I said, I really like Mitchell's game, but they would have to figure out how to fill out then the rest of the roster when those three, we know Maxey's getting a max soon, is going to take up pretty much, most of your salary cap. So anyway, what do you think about Donovan Mitchell? Let me know down below. Now we got to get into one NBA analyst who is hating on Joel Embiid. By the way, did you know Joel Embiid secretly, silently, because we haven't talked about this, right? We're focusing on who they're going to get. Joel can actually sign a 3-year extension this offseason, $193 million. Do you think that's a smart investment for Philly, right? It's almost like, do they want to buy in and make sure that they can lock down Joel Embiid? There's injury concerns, things like that. Feels like a hefty price tag, but maybe you sign him before some of these other guys get paid, and that number does not go up anymore. Also, I wanted to point out once again how we are at this stage in the offseason where just things like this are surfacing, right? People need others to watch things and read things. Sixer Nation put this out. I don't understand. The Knicks and Thunder are viable trade destinations if Embiid demands a trade from the Sixers. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? They Photoshop Morey. Like, come on now. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? But anyway, Ryan Russillo made some points about Joel Embiid. Let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of it.
I'm over it.
Oh, okay. Go off.
Like, what am I supposed to do with him? Zach Lowe was like, he's irrefutably in the top 4. And I was like, let's refute.
Yeah.
Let's refute, because it is, at least the way I have it is, as Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA, you could flip a coin with. I think it's those 4. And that 5th spot is not reserved for Embiid for me anymore in the way that it was prior to this season. I mean, at some point, man.
This season, he was incredible.
When
he played this year, he was awesome. It was the best year of his career. What are you talking about?
Thank you. And I just want to say real quick, like, how are you going to put SGA at number 4 ahead of Joel Embiid? What has SGA done that Embiid has not done? And also, I'd like to ask you this, Ryan Russillo. Now, again, this was a 2 to 3 minute clip here, and I don't disagree with everything he said. Like, the injury concerns are legit. Joel's got to stay healthy, et cetera, et cetera. But once again, I will rebuttal with the same thing I keep telling everybody. And there's people within this fan base who despise Joel Embiid. It's crazy to me, given what he has done, his level of greatness. Sure, he needs to get past the second round, needs to win a championship one day. I get that. But I feel like people really take him for granted the way they did with Giannis and even Jokic before those guys won. So I would just, fire back by saying, well, what you can do, Ryan Russillo, is give him an actual supporting cast and not have a co-star on the team who's going to go out lousy in an elimination game and give you 0 points. It's as easy as that. Would that solve everything? I don't know, but I'd like to see it. I mean, you're talking about SGA. Look at what he's got around him. Has Giannis ever had a $40 million player give you 0 in an elimination game? What about Jokic? No, they don't have to deal with that. They don't. I'm sure he was probably clowning Giannis before. So, again, I just think it's that time in the offseason where people are just putting stuff out there, throwing it against the wall. And again, this is going to be the offseason where he can finally build that strong supporting cast around Joel Embiid, and then we'll see what he does.
How about this? I don't give a fuck what any of his stats are. I just don't give a shit.
I agree with that.
His PER
I agree with
actually
that. But you got to give him some help, Ryan Russillo. And he just goes on and, again, makes some points about his game, etc. But, he was at his peak again this year. He got better again until the injury. So I agree with the injury, but I feel like putting SGA above Embiid is just ridiculous. Anyway, I want to end it off on a glimmer of light. Sixers expected to re-sign Tyrese Maxey to a 5-year, $205 million deal, pretty much $41 per year for Tyrese Maxey. He'll have a cap hold, which will allow the Sixers to have more flexibility in free agency, and then they will ink him to this 5-year max. So we all knew this was coming, but it is nice to see. I think he has earned it. He's only going to get better, and I think Maxey could really be one of the big-time stars, faces of this league one day, and I'm very curious to see how Daryl Morey and the Sixers build around Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. So, news alert, Maxey is not going anywhere. Doesn't seem like Joel Embiid's going anywhere. Now it's time for these two to develop an even better relationship and get ready to rock for next season. Give me your thoughts down below, though. Do you think the Sixers should get a 3rd star, like a Donovan Mitchell? Should they get high-quality role players? We will be doing a breakdown of the Sixers cap situation and their strategy and what the best one is this season or this offseason in just a few days. So keep your eyes open for that. But appreciate everybody tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.